Hello, it's Miss Shante Schuler. Today I'm going to start reading with Chapter 6 of Ada Twist and the Perilous Pans. I hope everybody is feeling well today. Okay, so we left off and it was Birds Day. So let's start by looking at all the birds. We have a crow, a woodpecker, a northern flicker, and a bowhonks, stuff like that. Bahonkus. Ada grabbed her binoculars and came to the tree. The great backyard bird count was only a few weeks away. Every year on the same day, Ada joined people around the world who counted birds in their own yards. Then they all shared the data they collected. That data told scientists how many birds there were and where they lived and where they traveled. Ada practiced identifying birds every day. She studied pictures and knew many birds by sight, but she wanted to know bird calls too. Ada listened to the birds in the tree. Caw, caw, caw. Crow, she said. Knock, knock, knock. Woodpecker? Tap, tap, tap. Northern flicker. Whoops. Whoops, said Ada. I don't know that one. She listened again. Oh no. Oh no, said Ada. What kind of bird sounds like that? She looked through her binoculars. Zowie, said Ada. That's not a bird. That's not a plane. That's a bohunkus. Ada was right. It was a bohunkus, a very big bohunkus, and it belonged to a very skinny man with a very big mustache and a very, very big pair of pants. And they were the biggest pants Ada had ever seen. They were fluffy and puffy, and they were floating above the tree. And that wasn't just any man. That was Uncle Ned. Ada turned to see her friends Rosie, Revere, and Iggy Peck running toward her. They were shouting and waving their arms. Stop that, Uncle, yelled Rosie. Ada looked up. A long rope dangled from Uncle Ned's waist. It was snagged on a branch at the top of a tree. Rosie and Iggy skidded to a halt next to Ada. They were out of breath and their faces were bright red. Hi, said Ada. Thanks for catching Uncle Ned, said Rosie. We've been chasing him all over Blue River Creek. Why is he flying around? Asked Ada. Is it an experiment? I love experiments. Is it an experiment about flying, winds, birds, leaves, clouds? Is it about weather? Is it? It's about getting me down, yelled Uncle Ned. We're trying, said Rosie. Why are his pants floating? Asked Ada. Are they filled with gas? I heard that Uncle Ned called Uncle Ned. They're filled with helium gas, which is lighter than air, said Rosie. I made them for him when I was younger. Sometimes he wears them on a walk, said Iggy. Though I guess it's a float because someone else is doing the walking. They hold the rope so Uncle Ned doesn't fly off. Flying around in helium pants was dangerous. It was hazardous. It was perilous. It was also really cool. Uncle Fred was holding the rope today, said Rosie, and then he saw let me guess, said Ada. Did Uncle Fred see a snake? Rosie nodded. Everyone knew her Uncle Fred. He was a zookeeper in the Blue River Creek. Everyone also knew that Uncle Fred loved snakes, and they loved him. He found them everywhere he went. It always led to trouble. He picked up the snake, said Rosie, and he let go of the rope, said Ada. What kind of snake was it? An annoying one, yelled Uncle Ned. Get me down from here. Aww. Okay, so next page, chapter 7. So she met two friends. Yay, yay, yay. What is ticklish? Why are humans ticklish? While we're up here, yelled Ada, do you see any birds? I'm trying to count them. I see a very hungry-looking crow, said Uncle Ned. I don't like the way it's staring at me. Nice birdie. Nope, get off my head. Hey, that tickles. Cut it out. Ha 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 ha. I'm ticklish. Ha 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 ha. He's laughing. Indeed, Uncle Ned was very ticklish, and all of Rosie's aunts and uncles were. And once they got Laughing, it was hard for me to stop. Uncle Ned tried to swat the bird away, but he was laughing too hard. Hee 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 hee. Ha 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 ha. Meanwhile, the kids brainstormed ideas. They often thought up ideas and helped one another with projects. They spent so much time answering questions that Ada's aunt Bernice gave them a nickname. She called them the questionnaires. The questionnaires thought and thought. I can make a gadget to help him steal the helium pan, said Rose, who is an engineer. But how could we get to him? I know, I said. Who is an architect? I know, said Iggy, who is an architect. We could build a treehouse and climb up to him, or we can make a leaning tower of pizza boxes. Do you have 50 pizza boxes? Ada shook her head. It doesn't matter now, she said. Why not? Asked Iggy. Just look, said Ada. Iggy and Rosie looked up. They saw lots of branches. They saw lots of trees. They saw a hungry crow, but they did not see a pair of perilous, puffy hands or a skinny man with a very big mustache. Uncle Ned was gone. Oh, boom, boom. So, look at that. Helium is scientific numbers too. What is helium? Why does helium make balloons go up? The three kids looked his way and that way. They looked this way and that way. There was no sign of Uncle Ned or his perilous plans. Do you think the crow got him? Said Iggy. He could be anywhere, said Rosie. She was worried. Let's think like scientists, said Ada calmly. Let's start with questions. Rosie looked up. What if he went straight up to space, she asked. Ada tapped her chin and then thought a moment. I don't think Uncle Ned could get up to space, said Ada. I was reading about gases in my book. Helium is a gas and it follows all the rules of gases. Gas molecules spread out in every direction to fill the space around them. Ada started pointing and making hand gestures and sound effects. She wanted to tell Rosie and Iggy all the things she had read about gases. The thoughts were crowding her brain, fighting to get all the space at once. Then Ada stopped. She was doing the same thing she had done when she tried to explain her experiment to Arthur. That didn't work so well. Maybe now is the time to try something new. I'll show you, said Ada. Ada took a deep breath and pulled out her notebook. Sometimes it helped her when she sketched in her notebook and then explained as she went. Helium is a gas, so it follows the rules of all gases, she said. Gas molecules spread out to fill the space around them. So the helium molecules are filling all the space inside the parts. They push on the materials enough for us to make the pans puffy. See? You guys see that? Using pictures made explaining things so much easier. Ada's ideas seemed to get in line and come out in the right order, and it was working. Rosie and Iggy nodded as she explained. Though they still looked a little confused, Ada continued. While the gas molecules are pushing outward, she said, the air above and around Uncle Ned is also trying to spread out and is pushing on the outside of the pans. So, said Iggy. So, said Ada, the pans are just a balloon. The gas inside is just trying to expand, but the strength of the balloon and the pressure of the air outside the balloon keeps it from stretching too far. Okay, said Iggy. Then said Ada, if Uncle Ned goes up and up and up, there is less air above him and around him, so there are fewer molecules to push on the outside of the pans, but there is the same amount of pressure through the helium molecules inside the pans. Rosie jumped in. So the helium in the pans can expand more because there's more pressure on the inside of the pans than on the outside of the pans, said Rosie. Right, said Ada, who was trying to remember what she had read. So, she said as she tapped on her chin, Uncle Ned's pants will keep expanding. Uh-oh. And asked Rosie, and they will get bigger and bigger, and said Ada. And said Rosie nervously. Ada gulped. And what? Asked Rosie. Ada took a deep breath. A worried look crossed her face. What? Asked Rosie. The pressure inside the pans will be much stronger than the pressure outside, said Ada. They'll pop. Oh no, Rosie gasped. Uncle Ned will fall from space. No, actual space is 60 miles up. Ada said his pants would explode way before then. Rosie's eyes got wide. Oh no, said Ada. I'm not explaining it right. I didn't mean to upset you. I just meant that he would float that far up. He wouldn't float that far up. But Rosie was upset. She looked at the sky and a tiny tear welled up at the corner of her eye. Uh-oh. Let's see what happens next time in Chapter 9. Thank you for listening. Oh, I want to go over what the notebook looks like. So, Rosie is talking about her notebook. And so I just made one. And this is called, the paper that she uses is called quad ruled paper. And the reason why is because the quad ruled paper looks like this. It has actual places on there where you can draw. And sometimes if it's for quadratic drawing, you'll have a darker line around some parts of it. So that's what it looks like. So I just went ahead and made my own because I was using my son's paper, so I only used like 5 sheets of paper. So, and I'll show you too what we draw. I know where it's at now. So I gave myself a cover, and I am designing a bus. So here I have all my schematics and some of my research. So this side is for my research. Here, these are notes that I took. I should have been putting in a notebook and I didn't. Here, this is what I'm designing. So in this part of it, I'll give you, this is the schematics of my bus. This is what I call a key. So this key is for my hot and cold water. This is for my electricity and my outlets. This is for my light switches, and this is for the lights. And so there's a small drawing here of everything I want to do and what my bus plan looks like. I also leave these so when I lift it up, I'll be able to see more of my notes. So the most thing that bothered me today was how I wanted to filter the water in my bus. So that's why I have this here as a reminder of what this page really was for me. It was the water filtration system. So that's what I started building. So then from there, there's a sink I want, y'all. It's very expensive. And Miss Schuler feels like if she's an artist, then she can just make one. I could just make one out of concrete and 2 boxes. And so it'd be cheaper for me to make it. The sink is about $400 and Miss Schuler can make it for $50. So I'm thinking I can make a sink. So I designed my sink there. Okay? So, and this is what great engineers, artists, and scientists do. And so then on this page, there are designs that I thought that I needed pictures for. So I printed out pictures and I put them here. So I designed everything, and I can fold these back. And you can see my drawings. And then this is my ultimate drawing. So these are different designs that I would like. And then this is a day bed. So I thought, I could design a day bed. And I used the measurements and different things for me to be able to see. Now, on the next page, I always get the flooring mixed up. So, again, I wrote a list and I create somewhat of a key for me to know how I need my flooring to look. So, that is what you do. If you like engineering, if you like, engineering and science, that's what it takes. All you want to do is sit down and draw it. So anyway, get you some quad ruled paper. You can even use art paper and just start drawing. Have a great day.